I finally give chase, following as best I can while avoiding the rest of the awestruck players who just witnessed the high-speed dino girl shoving them aside in her wake. As I get closer, the atmosphere seems to grow thicker, the very air becoming dank and heavy, almost as if someone dialed the humidifier up to 11. For a second, I have to stop in my tracks to catch my breath and try to cool down as my shades begin to fog up. So this is the power of the fighting game crowd. I'd heard things, but I thought they were jokes. Through the fog, I spot Liz, or rather Liz's head, sticking above the crowds. "Yo, you found us!" Getting closer to Damien and Liz's head come into view. Olivia stops and checks one last time that I didn't get washed away in the crowd. She then moves past Damien and Liz, coming to a screeching halt next to a particular cabinet that's occupied by somebody else. She removes a shiny coin from her pocket, placing it firmly down on the controls of the current player, who hardly glances at her. As I step closer, I am able to overhear the exchange between the two dinos. The greaseball ankylosaur, without even looking away from the cabinet, starts rattling off his credentials to Olivia as if it was a job interview. "You know I'm the best Jurasskick player this side of Caldera, right? Double S-ranked, 3 online tournament wins. Besides, it's 50 cents not..." "Shut up and nut up already." Olivia's voice causes the ankylosaur to grimace and finally turn his head. "You really want to try me? Look, Tiny Tim..." His jaw clicks shut as his eyes manage to sweep above and then down to Olivia, his eyes squinting as his retinas slowly adjust to the low lighting of something not displaying brightly colored pixelated characters. "Bro, you know you can't be bringing chairs over here, not after last summer." Olivia growls and raises a fist, and I think the pale-scale dino finally sees who is challenging him. His maw flaps helplessly as he tries to explain himself before just stopping himself completely. "Never mind. Sorry." The Gator Girl sighs and taps a finger on the quarter she placed down. "Rules say you can't refuse, right?" His head tilts in confusion. "You know, you look to be the new champ here, right?" "Yeah, this is the champ's cabinet, right?" Damien's come over by this point, followed closely by Liz's head. "Champ's cabinet?" "Unofficial, but that's the oldest one here. Been here since the dawn of time. It's like sacred or something." I look over the old machine, the paint on it chipped and positively covered in marker ink to the point that the only legible thing on it is a very juvenile edit to the game's title. "This thing?" "Yeah, man, they only let the head honchos actually use it. If you're spotted trying without credentials, you end up headbutted." That's bull, but I believe it. I look back to Olivia, who's having a withering stare down with the squawk eye she challenged. "Look, lady, I'm a big deal here. Buster Nuts, crowd champ at all of Caldera. This particular Jurasskick machine's got a history. It happens to be the same machine that Dado the Rex Go managed to parry..." "Quit stalling and fight me already." "I'm not. I'm just setting the stage is all. Plus, you think you're the only challenger I've got?" I look around, noticing that there was now a group surrounding us. "On my title as champion, I'll take all comers now." A hushed whisper goes through the crowd. "Finally, form a line now." "Okay." "Tallest to smallest."
"What?"
"No cutting."
"Oh, heck yeah, we're gonna wipe the floor with you, Buster."
"Wait."
"What? I don't even play video games."
"And I'm not really a gamer either." "Too bad. Consider it the blood tax." I want to protest further, but Olivia's head turned towards me with a pleading look on her face.
"Besides, you think I want to put my hands on that thing? Who knows where..."
"We're in!"
"Inko!" "Yes!" "Come on, Liz, it won't be that bad. You're still by the Brachio booth, right? Hold tight, I'll come get you."
Damien pushes back through the small group around us, following Liz's neck to find the rest of her. Her head swivels around and gives chase, her pleas to not have to play falling on deaf ears. "Brachio booth?" "The arcade's claustrophobic, so brachiosaurs would tend to bump into everything, including each other. There was some lawsuit, so now there's a few platforms placed where people like her could sit and reach everything. There's even some water fountains attached. Doesn't stop things from getting tangled when there's multiple, but it's something." Huh, lore. In the end, Liz must have relented because she shuffles up to the rest of the group.
Fine, let's just make this quick.
Liz reluctantly steps forward towards the arcade cabinet, a crooked smile forming on the self-proclaimed champion's face. It doesn't take long for Liz to completely lose. The large ankylosaur's hands move like a blur as they dance across the controls, pummeling their digital opponent into the ground. As boastful as he was earlier, he at least proved that he was skilled at Jurasskick, the screen displaying "perfect" after only a minute against Liz. Liz crosses her arms and starts heading back to her old seat in the booth, head in tow with a pout. Buster leans his head back against his clasped hands to make it a show that it was no big deal. Next victim. Damien struts to the cabinet and jams his hands in his pockets for his change. Is there a whole piggy bank in there? Haven't seen your group around here before. Tourists? Huh? Oh, nah. Liv and I used to come here all the time. Life's been tough, you know, so we got some friends to come along this little trip down memory lane. Lighten the mood a bit. This place hasn't changed much in the years either. Aha! He hoists the quarters high and jams them in the slot. Once more, the screen lights up and the character selection music busts in. Buster considers his selection and ultimately chooses the same character. Damien, what was with that death glare?
Damien just picked a counter to his character. Probably expects all of us to be beginners.
Buster does seem a bit more tense now.
Been a while since then, though.
Her explanation is cut short as her words take on a scratchy quality to them. Hey, you okay?
What? I'm fine.
I can go and refill your canteen pretty quick.
Sure, thanks.
She reaches behind her and unhooks her severely dented water bottle from her chair. There's something to look into for Christmas. That Buster guy said there was water by the Brachio booths, although I can't imagine the water here is very good. Christmas? What? What am I thinking? I haven't gotten anyone a gift like that before. Focus, Inko, you're just getting some water. I head deeper in the arcade towards the center, passing through the aisle lit by game screens. You guys are done already? No, just refilling Olivia's bottle. Guess I'm gonna miss Damien's match. Say, Liz, this sticker here, what is it? Her head comes in close as she eyes the weird brand on the canteen.
Oh, that's from some really old show. Like, back in the 90s old. Why?
Just curious is all.
Well, I never really asked Olivia about it.
Maybe I should. After all, I think I recall watching a video essay about it once. Though, I could never really get into older stuff. The animation always looks so choppy. Recapping the bottle, I lead Liz's head back to the fighting game section. It's surprising that Damien and Buster are still playing. This time, both of their hands slamming furiously on the controls. A crowd has even formed around the duo, exchanging low whispers as they watch the old CRT screen. I pick out Olivia at the front of the crowd, close to the cabinet, so she's able to clearly watch. She's hyper-focused, to the point that when I swish the bottle in front of her face, she just leans over to keep watching. Evil it is, then. I hold the canteen above her muzzle and carefully dip it over until a few drops fall on her face. Her tongue laps along her lips and wipes up the nourishing droplets before glaring at me. Hey, here you go, fresh from the latrine.
Har.
She takes the bottle and downs most of it right away before clearing her throat.
Thanks.
How's Damien's match going?
Well, he's getting too aggressive.
He is?
Yeah, Buster picked a rushdown character, so Damien picked a zoner to keep Buster at a distance. Problem is that zoners are notoriously bad when it comes to footsies and are even worse with mix-ups, which means that if Buster is able to get into Damien's hurt box, he's gonna get super punished and might even lose a set in a single...
Wait a second, I'm human.
So Damien has to keep his distance.
It's not looking... Ah, crap. Olivia and I watch from the sidelines as, over the next few seconds, Buster pulls off an impressive series of moves that crush Damien's character into the ground. Almost like he was waiting for us to get back. Wow, you actually knew how to play. Buster jams an accusing finger my way, as though marking me for death. You're next. Damien's expression carries a hint of disappointment as he steps away from the cabinet, but he quickly peps up and resumes his usual jovial self. Just me and Olivia left. I nervously step up to the cabinet. A plethora of characters in various fighting poses stare back at me, each with their own promises of victory. I recall an old saying Coach Solly had said, "If we do not know what we're doing, then the opposing team certainly can't anticipate our future actions." I tap my joystick over to the large question mark in the middle of the screen is highlighted, to the astonishment of spectators and my visibly nervous opponent. The game begins and my opponent besides me seems exceptionally calm as he manipulates his controls, compared to me, trying out every button and stick input to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Unlike Damien, who at least looked like he was holding his own against the bloated Buster, I was getting the digital crap kicked out of me. Every attempt I made was met with my character being grabbed and thrown in some ridiculously elaborate way. By the time the perfect announcement plays out on the screen, I can feel my wrists cramping from the crazy amount of button mashing I'd done in under a minute. At least I lasted a little longer than Liz. Don't feel too bad, I am the best here after all. His snort-filled laughter grates on my ears as I walk back to my friends, all of them staring daggers at the pasty-scaled dino. The rest of the crowd are in an uproar along with him, and I can feel my ears heat up at the attention. Olivia's eyes are narrowed as she wheels herself into position, her tail lashing roughly against the ground as she waits for the laughter to die down and her turn to finally begin. Buster chuckles to himself while cracking his knuckles. "I just finished wiping the floor with your friends while hardly breaking a sweat. Just so you know who you're really dealing with, I'm Buster Nuts, achiever of octaves in the annual Jurasskick Wisconsin E-Tournament, demolisher of Icaria, second best player of 2007 to 2012, and co-leader of the Midwestern branch of the Mighty Mammoths Gamer Guild. You won't look bad for ducking out. Or are you ready to get busted?" "You're fat. You know, you could still back out of this." Olivia's response is to insert her coin slowly, without breaking eye contact with Buster with what I can only describe as a predatory leer. She then slams her fist on the start button. Buster instantly moves his cursor towards a different character. Damien next to me lets out a soft gasp. What's wrong?" "Buster's character is like 3 kinds of bullshit is what's wrong." "What?" "Well, for one thing, he's usually gentleman's band attorneys, and his mouth is moving, but all that comes out is alien words." Buster lets out a chuckle and turns to look at Olivia, giving her a smug grin. Olivia doesn't seem at all fazed by Buster's character choice, clicking her joystick lazily. Soon as Olivia picks her character, the game's announcer blares the name aloud. "Wani Long!" Damien turns to look at me. The excitement in his face is overbearing. "That's Olivia's main? Oh man, this'll be one hell of a fight if Olivia's breaking her out." So is this Wani Long a good character?" "Shortest explanation you'll understand is yes." "What's the long one?" "If you don't know what a Shoto is, it'll take too long to explain here." Bah. While Damien rambles on, I recall Olivia's motivation just to get here. That look she had. That more than anything piques my curiosity. "So, how good is Olivia with her?" Damien's reply is to only give me a wide, big grin. "Oh, you'll see." A loud soundbite from the cabin speakers signals the start of Olivia's match. Given the way Damien spoke of Olivia's skills like it was derived from an ancient scroll, I expected it to be a flurry of pixelated beatdowns and tactful controller play. But instead, it looked like nothing at all. On the large display, both characters are just shifting back and forth, the joysticks in Olivia's and Buster's hands clacking about furiously. Honestly, it looks more like they're attempting to make their digital avatars tap dance. Oh. Wait, did I miss something? I don't want to turn my eyes away in case anything happens. No, like, they're trying to get a read on each other. It's like they're trying to predict what the other will do so they can counter and steal the match. Oh, so they're like sizing. There's a heavy crack and thump on the floor in front of me. Olivia's tail lashed at the base of the cabinet while Buster's Thagomizer had managed to crack into the concrete floor beneath him. On screen, the characters finally made contact and sent each other flying in opposite directions. Behind me, the crowd started cheering, finally excited that there was some actual action happening. Damien is hollering next to me, cheering on Olivia with all his might. Though the excitement dies down again as the duo resume their cyber posturing. My eyes darted between Olivia and Buster. Olivia's completely absorbed in the match. Her eyes are wide and full of killing intent. Buster, on the other hand, seems like he can barely contain his fury. 10 seconds on the clock, Olivia comes in clutch, punishing Buster's character with an impressive string of attacks. He manages to get away with a single pixel of health just as the time limit runs out. Winner, Wani Long! The crowd goes nuts as Olivia's victory is announced. And you know what? I can't help but cheer along with him. Olivia slumps back on her mobile seat and lets out a sigh before returning to her original position. Buster lets out a snort, twists and stretches his neck, and cracks his knuckles before once again gripping the controls tight. Round 2. Clash and Trash. The crowds return to a more silent state of observing the match closely, only low murmurs as they gawk at the two highly skilled players. The words passed around reach me, attempting to draw my eyes away. Weird for him. I'm surprised he's not doing the... Is he playing with her? Come on, Olivia! Damien's shout above the rest of them nearly blew my eardrums, but I shared his sentiment as the stylized characters exchanged simple blows. The timer continues to tick down, Buster once again being put on the defensive. With how all the previous bouts went, Buster always had control with a cutthroat level of offense, but I didn't think of him as being this passive. The countdown once again hits 0, this time with Olivia's character slouching in defeat and the crowd cheering again, though less enthusiastically than before. You got this, Olivia! Just one more win and you're champ again! Olivia's shoulders tense up at what he said, and all eyes stare directly at her. Damien? Come on, Hot Wheels! Show them why you're the best! She groans a bit and refocuses on the screen. The group simmers down to silence in anticipation of the start of the final match. Sudden silence actually catches me off guard for a second. Long enough for my own doubts to catch up to me. Buster's playstyle, it's like he's not really trying. The match starts and the hype flares right back up. That's stupid of me to even think. He's a gamer bro champion type. He's got way too much to lose. And yet... Hey, Damien. Yeah? Do you notice anything off about how Buster's playing? You notice it too? Guess I'm not just paranoid then. Like, I didn't really watch her match, but was he always so... passive? No. But like, these two are crazy good, so maybe this is all mind games. As if he's gonna throw the game and let her win. We glance back at the ongoing battle happening on screen, and I take notice of Buster's hand movements. As Olivia launches her character into a furious combo, sure enough, Buster hesitates just enough to let his fighter get hit by the first blow. That's brilliant timing. This is crazy. Huh? Then it hits me all at once, like a freight train. The way Buster was looking down on Olivia, how he didn't want to take her challenge, all the excuses he was giving. He's a virgin. But also, he's throwing the whole match, isn't he? Damn it. Even here, Olivia was right. Damien, I think he's taking it easy on her. You think so? Damien takes a moment to ponder what I said. Dang. Even here. That's what I was thinking. Should we do something? What, interrupt the match? Everyone else is having fun. The crowd whoops again. Only now it sounds a bit different. Hollow, mocking. Damien's frill sags with concern. He turns to me. What we came here for is a good time. If she can't tell, what's the harm? Jeez. You know what I mean. Yeah, I do. I hate that he's right. I could stand up for her, but thinking back to that confrontation with Mia, standing up for her there didn't really pay off either. But that was a while ago. I just don't know. I look over the crowd again. The match is about halfway done, judging by the remaining health pools. Let's see here. Don't cause a fuss for Olivia. cheer Olivia on. You better believe we're cheering Olivia on. You better beat that ass, Gator Girl. I know Olivia normally doesn't like this from strangers, but I'm no stranger to Olivia. She knows my intentions. We're friends. On screen, it looks like the characters are about to strike one another with their feet. I cup my hands around my mouth. Go, Olivia! You got this! Damien recoils from my scream. Or maybe I popped his eardrum, judging by the glare he levels at me. Then he raises 2 fingers to his mouth. Heck yeah, you got this! Even Liz tries to join in, shouting down at the crowd with her own cheers. Oh, you know what'd be cool? You can do it, Hot Wheels! Yeah, go Hot Wheels, go! Olivia flinches and turns her head to look back at us a bit. Curiously, so does her opponent. She sees us cheering and she gets her usual disfavoring furrowed brow. No way, I'm sticking to my guns. Eyes on the screen, Hot Wheels, he's gonna get you! Beat him without even looking! She stares right through the crowd at me. It's only an instant, but it feels longer. But her subtle scowl cracks. Then it completely folds into a smirk back at us. She faces back to the screen with renewed vigor. Buster shakes his head to snap himself out of his own slog. Looks like he was only intending to lose by a little. He's picking up the pace now. Only... time. The match time's out. Bah. Egg, want to go another route? People need a winner. Actually, mind if I run to the restroom real fast? Shit, yeah, it's down that way. Olivia turns and smiles at me again. It's warm. Then she goes off to the restroom. Buster waits for her to be out of earshot and scrambles over to Damien and I. Hey, you two. You guys weren't serious, right? Huh? You were saying Hot Wheels. That's not really her, right? The Hot Wheels from a decade ago? Yep, it's her. Why? Damn, I feel like a jackass now. You were throwing for her, weren't you? A little. Your buddy, Fithead, gave you some sob story about her during our match. I felt bad, okay? Who wants to be known as the asshole that picks on cripples? Ooh, Buster was being hospitable to the young lady. Who the fuck? Shut the... Yo, Buster, you simping? Piss off. But yeah, I didn't mean any disrespect or anything. Crap, I didn't know she had a history here. I should have more respect than that. He sighs. What'll you do now? I'll play for real. It's what she deserves. That's all we ask. Buster nods and turns with a thumbs up. He cracks his knuckles and neck in preparation for his first legitimate match of the day. He's still kind of simping though. Shut the hell up, Dave. Olivia returns, sliding up to the machine once more. Thanks for waiting. No problem. Ready? You know it. Good, because you're going down this time. They give each other one last competitive leer before putting all their focus on the screen. Just as before, Buster chooses the OP character and Olivia picks Wani Long. As soon as the in-game announcer yells, "Fight!" Buster immediately goes in for the kill, the total opposite to how he was playing last match. It catches Olivia off guard for a moment, leading her character to eat a massive combo that takes a good chunk of her health. True to his word, he isn't holding back this time for Olivia's sake, dealing her the same level of beatdown brutality he gave the opponents before her. This seems to only invigorate her, putting her skills and hands into overdrive. Even though Buster is going full force, Olivia still manages to get Wani Long to land a few punches and kicks, along with evading some attacks. The crowd seems to notice the reappearance of Buster's lethality, causing an uproar of cheering and whoops. Damien, of course, follows suit. You got this, Hot Wheels! Kick his ass! Can't let him be the only one, right? Show him why you're the champ! Unfortunately, not even Olivia could beat Buster's true fighting skills. And, like his previous opponents, KO Bold wins! The crowd is a mix of groans and cheers and excitement at the ill-fated defeat of Olivia. Buster crosses his arms, basking in his self-pride of beating the legendary Hot Wheels. Damn, you really handed my ass to me. Didn't I say I was kind of a big deal around here? Yeah. Though, I gotta admit, you gave me a real challenge. I could see why you were known as a champ.
Thanks.
If you're ever up for a rematch, you know where to find me. With that, Olivia makes her way over to us, a smile beaming across her face. Alright, who's next? We exit the crowd into a more spacious part of the arcade. That was awesome, Liv! You really gave him a run for his money.
I know, right? I mean, I know I'm a bit rusty, but the moment I got my hands on the controls and he gave me a real fight, I was so close to beating him.
Despite having been outmatched and losing to Buster, she seems to be having even more fun than ever.
I'm feeling all jittery after that fight.
That's the gamer rush settling in you.
Hey, you know they sell food here, right? We should get some snacks to celebrate.
Well, I was smelling grease. I was just assuming it was. He takes his own order and starts marching off in another direction.
Damien, wait for the rest of us. Food, huh? You know what? I could go for a little something.
Yeah, it is getting pretty late.
Come on, they went this way.
Olivia starts plowing through the crowd once more. Oh boy, this again. I'll call it exercise. The snack bar is a small cutaway from the rest of the building, segregated by different style tiling and brighter fluorescent lighting. There's not a lot of options aside from what you'd expect. Pizza, ice cream, chicken strips, pickles, and the like. When Damien asked for 2 slices of pizza, Liz got excited. The moment he got the food, however, he was already eating one while holding the other. She seemed really annoyed, but took his offer to let him pay for her food. He offered to pay for Olivia and myself, but the last thing I want for him to do is drain his wallet any further, knowing their living situation. It's barely over $10, so it's not like it bothers me. Olivia had gotten an order of chicken wings slathered in hot sauce. I just went with the classic chicken strips and one of the sodas I recognized from the school vending machine. We take a seat at one of the few open tables, and I struggle to not think about how often they're cleaned. Damien doesn't even bother sitting with us. He just heads right back into the fray with both arms occupied by his dinner. Liz follows after Damien to keep track of him. At least her head does. Olivia barely even sets her tray down before... I subtly shift myself away from the maelstrom of molars and claws. Damien probably said he'd cover the meal because he knew Olivia would get like this. Sheesh, Hot Wheels. Would you like some actual meat on that? I didn't even know wing bones could get that big. Olivia responds by snapping the bone in two between her teeth. The marrow squirts out a little, and she has to get a napkin to wipe her cheek. Suddenly, my own chicken tender meal looks even more unsavory, so I push it aside and close her to the toothed tornado. It only takes moments for her to accept my offering with no manners whatsoever.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. So, after we finish, any other plans? Olivia ponders my words while rolling a bone around in her mouth like it's a lollipop stick. It's just a chicken bone, Inko. An oddly large chicken bone.
I don't know. I've basically done all I want to do by now. Damien's probably got another 20 minutes before he burns out. I'm cool to hang here, unless you want to do something.
Nah, I actually don't play games much. I had fun playing with you, though. Olivia looks away for some reason. We should do this sort of thing more often.
Yeah?
Of course, I've never had this much fun outside of my previous schools, mainly because I never had many friends to hang out with.
That's kinda sad.
It is, but it looks like moving here was a change for the better. Plus, it's fun just hanging out with you. Though stained with sauce, Olivia's lips curled into a smile. And Liz and Damien too, of course. Though I have to admit, with the way Liz gravitates towards Damien, it's almost like she had this all set up.
What do you mean?
Well, Damien and Liz are pretty close, so maybe she's using this as an opportunity for them to get closer. It's almost like we're on a double date or something. She jerks back to me, completely attentive. Did I say something?
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Since we hang out together pretty often, people might start thinking we're together. Something whips into my back. Gah! Olivia grabs hold of her tail.
Crap, sorry. Yeah. I had fun today. Going out like this for the first time in ages, seeing this place again, it's nice.
That Buster guy said they renovated it a bit in the last few years. Has anything else changed? Olivia looks into the depths of the arcade, looking for anything different.
You know what? I think the wallpaper's changed. But other than that...
She turns back to me with a nostalgic grin.
No, it stayed the same. You know what has changed, though?
What?
The people here.
What, like employees?
Them too, but I meant the regulars. When we came here, this place was always more...
Her tongue probes her cheek as she considers different words.
More... hectic? No, more packed. It was so easy getting through here today.
I recall her almost running some people over to get across the building. And with the look she had back then, I don't think she'd have noticed if she had. Olivia's gaze lingers back towards the arcade machines.
Back then, every machine was crowded. It was a lot louder, and there was always this something in the air that had everyone excited.
What about when you and that guy were playing Jurasskick?
Okay, yeah, it was like that. But way more. Like, it felt like every machine had a crowd around it. Everyone just getting crazy, and it was always a pain to wait your turn.
With the heaviest of sighs, Olivia turns back toward me.
Just feels empty, like everything else nowadays.
I mean, empty is good. You were able to get around easily. Near hit and runs, notwithstanding. And personally, this place feels crazy to me. Even here in the tiny food court, I can feel the rumbling loudness of all the people here resonate through my body. Her only response was a non-committal hum. Olivia handles her flask carefully, staring down at the sticker I'd noticed earlier with a wistful look. I remember that Liz mentioned about it being from an old show she watched. Say, I noticed that sticker when I went to refill it. What's it from?
Oh, that. It's from some old anime that I remember watching growing up. It's nothing really special.
From some anime, huh? What's it about?
You want to know?
Sure, I never really caught on the whole anime stuff, but I'd like to know what it's about.
Well, if you really want to know, it's not like any other anime. It's called Gundam, and...
For the next 5 minutes, Olivia tries to summarize the premise of Gundam in detail. Given that I'm as clueless to it as I was with the fighting terminology, the plot sounds completely esoteric. The sticker is of the symbol worn by a faction of space noids, fighting for their independence. Sounds like a just and noble group with a goal like that. Watching her talk so passionately about the series franchise. Oh, that's a lot. For how long?
But that's alternate universe stuff. Oh, and then there's this martial arts one.
As she continues her description of the franchise, I start to realize how enamored I've become. Not just about hearing the show, but from seeing Olivia talk about her favorite show with such passion and energy. I find myself engrossed in her voice as she recounts a particular version of the anime, as she's even taken to emulating segments from the show.
And in the end, he finally admits, and it's one of the best romances in Gundam's done, and...
Her sudden pause worries me. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Doesn't sound like nothing. Rather, given the roughness in her tone again, her throat finally ran dry. Do you need another refill?
I'm good.
She drinks deeply from the canteen that had started this all off. It's been a while since she's talked herself dry like that. In fact, I can't recall the last time she desperately needed to hydrate like that. I think maybe around the start of the school year. She releases the canteen and lets a breath of relief out. Better? Olivia nods.
Yeah. Anyway, where'd I leave? Actually, I've probably been babbling on too long about it.
Oh no, I don't mind at all.
It's fine. Besides, you let me talk about my favorite show, so tell me about yours.
Mine? Well, I haven't finished anything, just mostly video essays about old shows. I'm told I can call myself a fan of video games without having played them, but does that apply to TV? Olivia sure has taste. She can tell me exactly what kind of show she likes and why she likes it. I just know bits of trivia. No, that can't be right. I've seen lots of things in passing. Like... Huh. Well, shoot. I have no swag. I guess I've spent more time watching in-depth video essays about shows than actually watching them. Man, that's embarrassing. No, it's not. Okay, maybe a little. But it's never too late to get into it, see what you do or don't like. Next time you're over at my place, we can binge watch a whole anime series. I like the sound of that. But if it ever gets too intense, you can always watch Power Raptors with Vinny. Hey. Relax. Toku shows like that aren't just for kids to like. It's funny though. I remember my dad letting me watch it as a kid, and Vinny got into it because I showed him. If you don't mind me asking, you mentioned that your dad's in and out of town because of his job. What is it exactly?
He's on contract with the DoD.
Wow, really?
Yep, been working with the Air Force since I was a baby. Normally he isn't called that often, but when he does, it's pretty lengthy. Weeks, even months.
That must suck.
It isn't all too bad. We still call each other and send messages. The work just keeps him busy.
Well, that's good. Keeping in touch with your folks is important. Why do I feel sad now?
What about your parents? What's their job?
Oh, mine are joint partners and architect. That's why we move around a lot, and the main reason why we're here in Volcaldera to begin with.
Ah, now it all makes sense.
What does?
You know...
She points at my shades and jacket. Having on a jacket and shades doesn't automatically make me rich, Olivia.
Dude, who else wears clothes from Abercrombie and Flint and has extra pairs of Ray Aban sunglasses on them? People in mansions, that's who.
I don't live in a mansion. For your information, it's a 2-story complex with an automatic gate and... Oh. I see what you mean.
Now you get it, moneybags.
Suddenly, Liz starts waving her hands around excitedly. What the... Inko! Olivia! Damien comes rushing in, both arms filled with pile of tickets. Whoa, mama. That's a lot of tickets. The other end is still trailing behind them.
Damien got the jackpot at Megalomillionaire.
This is probably like 1,000 tickets. I'm gonna go see what this gets at the prize counter. Come on! Holy crap. Alright, yeah. You done eating, Olivia? She takes the basket of chicken strips and pushes back from the table.
Yeah.
I roll my eyes and follow behind Damien to the prize counter. He plops his winning stash on the counter in front of the unamused clerk. So, what'll this get me? Nothing. You need to drop those in a ticket counter first. Ah, damn. You know you forgot. He rushes off to get them counted, and I look over the options. There are a few old games on the top shelf for several thousand. What's the exchange rate supposed to be? Below me in the glass counter is a bunch of candy and small plastic novelties. There's also a lot of joke items, whoopee cushions, air horns, things like that. In one corner is a series of licensed and generic plush toys hanging. What do you think you'll get?
Probably the mini RC car? Or, no, maybe the plasma globe. He's gonna get a handful of candy and let us have the rest.
You think so? Alright, I'm back. He hands the ticket over. I spot the number 1247 printed on the ticket. Dang, that's enough for one of the plushies on the wall. Let's see. I want... Hey, how about that? He points to a small foosball table on the top shelf. The clerk glances up at it and back. That's gonna be another few thousand. Ah, damn it. Well, I'm out of ideas. Guess I'll have some of those then. The clerk gets a small bag of chocolates from the display. You guys can have the rest. I don't really need anything here. Nothing's really speaking to me either. I might want something. Olivia scans the corner. There's still enough tickets for a medium prize. She might be going for a paddle ball or something.
Whoa, look at that.
She points to the plushie corner. The blue slug thing?
No, next to it.
There's a weird dark green thing hanging in the corner. The only one of its kind. I kind of want to drop kick it.
That one? I don't know. Something about it really makes me want to, I don't know, tie it to a firework and set it off into a deep fryer.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You guys are rude. I'm not saying you're wrong, though. He looks like he's the reason we have taxes.
I hate its face. He thinks he's better than all of us. I've gotten used to it. It's been around for years.
Tell it I hate it.
You don't really want it, right, Olivia?
Wow, it's just like me.
Her eyes are bright and wide. She's in love. Oh. The clerk hands her the stuffed toy and she looks deep into its beady eyes.
Yep, just like me. I'm gonna set that on fire sometime. Not if you like having both arms. We have two for a reason.
The argument continues for several minutes.
Guys, it's getting late. I think it's time we head out.
Nah, shoot, she's right. Even though the weekend starts tomorrow, I still have a curfew that my folks are strict about.
Agreed. Aw, I guess you're right.
On the way out, Damien stops and breathes in deeply.
You know, this was a lot of fun.
Oh, what's she up to?
Coming all here together for the first time in a while. Thanks for taking us, Liz.
Oh, it's no problem.
Thanks to you guys, too.
Yeah, man, it was fun. We should do this again sometime. Is it just like you remember it?
Even better. I know I was a bit mad about the idea at first, but I'll admit, it was worth it.
Back in the car, the argument picks up again.
I'm just saying, you should try hiding pencils in its ears until they come out the other side of its head. If anyone hurts him, I'll kill ya.
She stares with razor intent back at Damien. Okay, let's not get into fratricide over a plush animal. Olivia hugs the wretched thing tighter.
So, Inko, you want me to drop you off at your place?
Oh, dang. Yes, please. Hadn't thought of that. I quickly send Liz the address to my house, which she puts into Google Maps. Buckled in, we head out of the parking lot and onto the main road. Entering the freeway, we pass by the city, now illuminated. The early fall sunset bathes the car's interior a warm orange, and as we make our way home, I find myself recalling all the spots Olivia had highlighted. I wanted to ask her again, just so I knew for sure, but seeing her rest peacefully gave me pause. Well, I suppose I can ask her another time. Better to let sleeping gators lie. Wait, lay? Let her rest. She had fun, now she's tired, and that's all that matters. I know Olivia mentioned that the place was updated, but I'd be lying to myself if I didn't say that it looked a bit too grimy. Just hope I don't get sick.